Hello everyone, my name is Geeta Sharma. Welcome to my channel. I would like to introduce myself briefly. I'm a dedicated, determined, iconoclastic, passionate, and devoted English trainer. I think that's enough for my introduction, as I'm here to support you in enhancing your spoken English, communication, and interpersonal skills, transmogrifying your personality for future career, enriching vocabulary, thought process, creativity, and understanding CBSE Class 10 footprints without feet and first flight stories and poetry. So let's hit the road. Today I am going to talk about one of my favorite poems, that is Dust of Snow, from my favorite poet, that is Robert Frost. But first of all, you need to understand why you should watch this video, because you will embark upon a journey where you will explore yourselves and know who you are. Because I believe this is one of the most important steps. Either you're preparing for interview or you want to understand and introduce yourself to someone and you want to represent your thought process to someone. I think it's very much important that you know your strengths. Okay, we will be talking about this but later on, because today we are going to talk about the phantasmagorical poem The Dust of Snow. So I was talking about, and I was actually letting you know why you should watch this video. So you should watch this video if you want to enrich your thought process and creativity, if you want to think out of the box, if you want to know the meanings of these poems that I'm going to read for you and in a different perspective. Also, if you want to write impressively and effectively, if you want to make the wings of your imagination feel you're flying above and beyond in a world full of peace and happiness, then I think you're at the right place. Okay, so let's go. I'll read out the poem for you first. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Okay, so let's talk about its elaboration. I'm going to elaborate you. You can consider it as a summary, central idea, or theme of the poem. Okay, the poem Dust of Snow highlights the role of nature as savior, protector, healer, and catalyst. Nature, it's abundant, it's profound, and mysterious. It unfolds in mysterious ways that are beyond a capacity to think. Humans live in a misconception. I know that I am also human. So we live in a misconception that we can control the nature and its components as we feel. We are wise enough to make logical analysis and arguments. Nonetheless, we forget our roots, our source of birth, evolution, development, and final destination. So, to remind us, I would like to tell you that we have evolved from nature and we are going to assimilate in the same. So, the point is, we are not the boss. Remember, we are not the boss. We are part and parcel of nature, who embraces all the creatures, be it the tiniest or the largest, in her arms without any prejudice. In the deep eyes of nature, all creatures are equal. Through this poem, Robert Frost wants to wake us up and make us see everything that we are engulfed in with the positive glass of nature. For our sake, he chose hemlock tree and crow, the two components of nature that, according to our jaundiced eye, are not useful. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree, you know that. So you must be thinking, how can a tree filled with a poison can help us? Crows that are not considered as symbols of positivity, auspiciousness, and luck by many. You must be thinking, how can it make us positive, right? So, in the first place, the question arises, why did Frost choose them? What did he want to tell us? He wants to actually give us a beautiful insight, right? As I mentioned before, he wanted to show us the unparalleled and inexplicable power of every component of nature. That's why he didn't take the peacock, parrot, and many others which are considered as symbols of beauty, positivity, good fortune, and alike. So when the poet was in a bad mood, you know that like he was, I said mad because I think like when we are in bad mood, we are basically mad because we spoil our time. So the poet was in a bad mood in this poem and he was feeling down in the dumps. He could do nothing and he just flung himself down. He was unmindfully going through the forest when nature unfolded its arms and embraced him and healed him. While he was passing the hemlock tree, a crow dislodged some snow particles on him. The event, though it appears simple, it's profound, since it took off the poet's worry and lifted up his spirits with wisdom and broad vision. He became joyous and left his despair then and there. He decided to make the rest of the day productive and thus saved it from getting ruined because of transient worries. In a gist, Frost wants to convey that nature never differentiates its components as good or bad, positive or negative. It treats them equally. It's the humans who give positive and negative connotations to not only animals, trees, and things, but also to their own kind. Yeah. That's us. We need to understand that when the Creator hasn't made any distinction, then who we are to do so. Remember, you are not protecting nature, nature is protecting you in various forms. So be grateful, respectful to other creatures, and think positively, and enjoy every moment as a part of this magical nature. Like you enjoy being in the arms of your mother, since you know when she is there, there's nothing to worry about. So I think here in this poem, Dust of Snow, in this poem, dust of snow are snow particles, right? Which represent the healing power of nature through one of its elements, that is snow, that is a form of water. Remember, this universe is made up of five elements, and so we are. We are an inseparable part of nature, like we have an inseparable connection with our mother, who acts as savior, protector, healer, and profound unconditional lover. We all have that dust of snow moment that changed our lives. Yes, you heard me right. It's not dust of snow that means they are going to be water or snow particles. They can be any other thing. Just think about that dust of snow component that made you stronger and better. Think about it and share your dust of snow and your moment in the comment box, because we can learn from one another. And I would really love to read your moment, and I would like to share my moment too, okay? But before that, I would like to shed light on one more perspective, that we think that happiness is relative because we try to relate ourselves with each and everything. Think about it. When Robert Frost was feeling down in the dumps, he was not able to make his day productive. Let alone productive, I think he was not able to think anything positive, right? He had completely flung himself down. So when you likewise it happens in our life also. When we are feeling happy, we treat everything and everyone with kindness and vice versa. Moods must not define our demeanor. We need to understand this. We need to come out of the hollowness and move towards wisdom. We are not supposed to attach ourselves with the transient things or events. We need to grow and learn. We are a part of profound nature. So how can we think so shallow? Or do you have the capacity to attach yourself with each and every component of the humongous nature? If you think so, then give it a whirl. I think you'll be able to understand what I'm trying to say. Understand, nothing is permanent, so don't relate your happiness with anything. The ultimate goal of life is to reach happiness, yeah? To get happiness. And things are liable to change, you know that, right? So, when change is something which is permanent, you need to be adaptable, correct? And as I said, like I would like to share my dust of snow component and my dust of snow moment. So I would like to share an incident. It was my first job when I kicked off my career back then. I was supposed to meet my target, fulfill my target in the first week of my profile, if on my job, right? So I was an HR executive. So the company actually promised me that they were going to teach me something practical in recruitments, but they didn't, and I'm happy they didn't because I did the observational learning. I didn't take it positively earlier, but the dust of snow made me actually feel that yes, I could do it. What happened? I was deciding. I was actually thinking to myself that I wouldn't be able to go ahead with this since that was giving me trouble, that was giving me stress, and I didn't know how to do it. So I decided to give up. And what happened when I was going back home? When So it started raining, so I took shelter in the nearby temple, and I just waited, and I was thinking to myself that what should be done, because it was my first job. I wanted to learn, I wanted to make my career, but then I was thinking that I couldn't do it. So luckily, what happened, there two girls came, they also took the shelter. I was supposed to hire my team, my task was supposed to hire my team in 2 days, and I didn't know how to do the convincing and negotiating. So, but I don't know what happened that time, like when it was raining and I was taking the shelter. I just started a conversation with the two girls. And I think that conversation went into convincing, and that was successful. The two girls appeared for the drive next day, and there were other more applicants. Because I think when I was talking to themselves, I was talking to them, I was able to make up my mind that yes, I could do it. And while I was going back to home, while I was driving my scooter, I actually decided that I want to give it a whirl. And I gave it a whirl, and it worked for me. I'm not going to say that that was a very successful drive. No, that was not a very successful drive, but I was able to convince and stimulate and attract people to come to the company for the hiring process. Yeah, that was good. But yes, the second drive was very successful. And after that, I didn't go back to square one. I didn't look back. And I think that moment was dust of snow for another reason also. Today, I am a trainer. I am not an HR. Earlier, I was an HR when I did my MBA. After that, I think like in 2 years, I understood that that was not floating my boat. That was not my cup. That was basically my cup of tea, but not exactly. I was meant for something else. When I used to talk with people, when I used to motivate them, that was something that used to give me a kind of spark, energy, enthusiasm, and exuberance. And I decided to become a trainer. I didn't know about the profile, but fortunately, I got an opportunity, and one after the other, I just started learning. And I think that moment made me what I'm today. If I'm speaking confidently with you, and if I'm sharing my thoughts with you, I'm sharing my perspective with you, it's just because of that moment. So I think you can also think about the moment which actually helped you to become better, resilient, which helped you to take the bull by its horns. There are many moments. I just shared one moment because this moment that I shared with you, it's very crucial for me. It is really close to my heart. Yeah. Since like it made me who I am today, and I understand who I am today because I believe nothing is impossible just because of that job, because it gave me challenges one after the other. And as I said, like I took the bull by its horns. I understood this term then. And today I really want to be unstoppable, and I really want to share this with you as well, so that you also become unstoppable and you learn a lot of things. You will expand your horizon, and I'm there to help you out. So if you want to learn about more stories, more poems from class 10 CBSE NCRE notebook, NCRE book, so that definitely you can stay with me. And if you want to learn about vocabulary, enrich your vocabulary and understand more about spoken English and writing skills and other skills like life skills, and you want to get motivated, you can stay in touch with me. So thank you so much for listening to me very patiently. You people are wonderful, I know that, and you are going to definitely expand your horizon and enrich yourself with lots of good words and lots of good thought process, right? So thank you so much, and don't trouble yourself. Remember, just spread smile and keep smiling and make your day happier, happiest, and make your loved ones stay happier also. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.